Hey guys, it's Nikki. We have a very special video today. Today is a community challenge showcase. So, our Twitch community decided for the month of August, with the release of 10th edition and then the new combat patrol system, we wanted to paint a bunch of miniatures to, be able to play some games together. If you're not familiar with the new combat patrol system, basically what that is Games Workshop has been releasing these boxes labeled combat patrol. And all you need to get started for the system is this box. So they come with loadouts already set in the roster, so you don't have to decide which weapon you're taking, which models you're taking. If you build what's in the box and what's on the Combat Patrol roster, you're good to go. So we thought that it would be a great way to get started with the new edition if we all painted a Combat Patrol. Initially that was the idea. We decided to go ahead and expand it so more people could join. So we ended up doing combat patrols, boarding patrols, vanguard boxes, anything about this size. We said throw it in, let's see what we can do. And we wanted to see how many miniatures we could complete by the end of the month. So for the entire month of August, we all painted together. This showcase, if you're familiar, we used to have the whip gallery, but we would go through and look at everyone's stuff. This is going to be very similar. So we all did before and after photos of our projects, so I want to go through and share what everyone was working on. I did, as I was going through, total up the numbers as we were going, so I will have a running total as we go, and we'll see how many miniatures we're able to complete by the end of the month. If this sounds fun, if it's something you'd like to do, we're going to do more challenges like this on Twitch. Make sure you check out our Twitch channel. I'll put the link in the description if you want to check it out and join us there. So let's get started. Alright, and here we are to start our showcase. So I am going to be pulling before and afters where I have them from the Discord. I'll try to include any Discord notes, but again, this was done over the month, so if I'm missing anything, I'm very sorry to our community members if I miss any notes or anything like that. I just tried to compile them the best I could. Our first up is Ghostbox. Ghostbox was raring to go, so these miniatures were prepped ahead of time, primed, ready to start August 1st. So this is the Deathwatch Combat Patrol. It has the aggressors, the apothecary lieutenant, and then our marines there on the side. But they don't end up as Deathwatch. So Ghostbox, I believe, has a custom force, and I'm sorry I don't remember the notes for it, but decided to take this combat patrol and switch it over to our custom force, and here they are. Look at these! I love them. This color scheme works so well on them. I actually really love bringing the red onto the cloak for the apothecary too. Looks great. But we've got them all details done, based up, ready for a game. Awesome job, Ghostbox. They look great. And a great start to our count. So with these miniatures now ready for battle, that brings us to 15 models to get started. Awesome job, Ghostbox. Glad you're able to knock them out because I knew you were excited to dive in. So they look great. Awesome job. Next up, we have Mousebait. So Mousebait in the Discord decided to go with one of the larger sets of miniatures. This is the new World Leaders Combat Patrol. As you can see from the box, 31 miniatures in a month. So this is a big project, but a really cool box. Glad that Mousebait was able to grab it. And here's what Mousebait did with our challenge. So here they all are. So this is the new Berserkers, the Jackals, the Juggernaut here in the middle. We've got some custom bases with all of the runes and everything. Kind of sets off the red and the gold nicely. This is a big project. I know Mousebait in the Discord said that she wanted to do a little bit more with them, but they are ready for a game, ready to roll, ready to play some Combat Patrol. I also really love that you did the different skin tones on the Jackals. Getting all of that gold trim done in a month is quite the accomplishment. Well done, Mousebait. They look great. And yeah, really cool to see the new Combat Patrol all together here. So awesome job, Mousebait. Mousebait's total was 31 as we went over the box, bringing our total now to 46 miniatures, and that's just 2 projects so far, so count along with me. Next up, we've got orcs. This is Bill, or Billacor in our Discord, decided this isn't actually the Orc Combat Patrol, but decided to kind of make our own force here with a similar amount of numbers and boxes. So we've got some of the new orcs. We've got the beast boss down here. We've got the scrapjack back up here. This is kind of in the zenithal pre-shading stage as of before. And here are the orcs. Now look at them. I love all the colors, bringing onto the fur and the scales. I love the big squig in the blue. I think that looks sweet. And I love how that gets carried over to the boys as well, bringing it over to the scales. And then the scrapjet is so cool. So Bill submitted a few photos. Let's go ahead and take a look at those. Here's that scrapjet in better detail. I love the, I believe this is one of the Turbo Dork paints, so the color shifting. You can definitely see it along the top here, the different colors. So really cool use of that paint. I love the leather jacket too, just fun. And then I also grabbed the Beast Boss. Again, really cool in the blue, very different. I don't think I've seen them in the blue yet. And he looks great, Bill. So cool, ready to wog onto the field here. And yeah, just a really cool orc set. Bill's project was 21 miniatures, which will bring our total up to 67. So there's 3 projects, 67 miniatures. Awesome job, Bill. Such a fun force. Next up, I did not have a before photo. So Scorch Panda has actually been working on a couple different combat patrols. So there was a Chaos one and an Orc one, and it looks like the Orcs won out for the challenge, but unfortunately I don't have a before photo. But this is the new combat patrol that has the Coptas back, which is awesome. So we've got the Coptas, we've got the Death Drive back there, got the boys, and we got our boss up front. So a really cool set here from Panda. I love the color scheme. The little pops of red are just great. And then just seeing the Coptas back just makes me happy. So Panda absolutely crushing it with the orcs. Panda's project is 25 miniatures, bringing our total up to 92. So awesome job, Panda. I know that you had fun with these orcs too, and they look amazing. Ready to, ready to get to battle. Next up, we had Exalted King. So back to some Marines. This is from the new kind of combat patrol that was part of Leviathan. So we've got the Terminators, the Infernus Marines, and then the characters off to the side there. We've got a few sub-assemblies, so kind of heads separate for painting and things like that. And after, look at these. Look how amazing. So all painted up for the ultramarines. We also have, I wasn't sure if we should include it as a miniature. We've got the little beacon over here with the Terminators as well. So on my note, I have 12 models plus beacon. But really love the work with the characters. The one thing though, Exalted, this Nid here looks suspiciously like my Hive Fleet. So I don't know that I like that, but they all look amazing, really clean, highlighting throughout. Awesome job, Exalted, adding on to the Ultramarines. So Exalted is 12 models plus the beacon. If we leave the beacon off, that is 104 models so far. Awesome job, Exalted. They look great. And it was awesome to get you painting again. I hope that you enjoyed them too. Next up, this is Osarin. So we have like the most basic of starter pictures. Osarin decided to take the Space Wolf Combat Patrol, but make them Blood Angels. So decided to pick these up and convert them over. So the options prefer the options for Blood Angels. We've got the Dreadnought, we've got our troops, we got our lieutenant up front. They look great. I did go ahead and grab, I think, one more photo so you guys can see this Dreadnought a little closer. Look at that. So this is the war suit, not the Dreadnought. But you can see the color scheme here, bringing in some more of the Blood Angel iconography. I love the weathering on the decals and along the edges here. But yeah, an awesome addition to some Blood Angels. So Osarins had, let me go back here, 17 models all together. So with the Marines and the Warsuit, which will bring our total to 121. Awesome job, Osarin. I love it. Love the weathering. They look great. Oh, I did grab the, oops, sorry. Not quite done yet, Osarin. I did go ahead and grab the character there. So you can see that too. More example of that weathering that Osarin did. But yeah, awesome job. Alright, next up, it's me. Here is my before photo. And here is my after. So I can talk a little bit more about mine just because I was working on it all month. I decided to take the challenge as a way to start Emperor's Children because I'm basically banking on them getting their own codex, either this edition or next. All the other Chaos have their codex. I mean, it's gotta be time, right? And I've loved working on Slaanesh, so I decided to go ahead and hop in. So this is my Chaos Space Marine Combat Patrol in my new Emperor's Children colors. Mine is 19 models, and that'll bring us up to 140 with these. It was really fun. The one thing that slowed me down is I decided to do the white on the shoulders late, and I spent too much of my month going back and doing that. But really fun combat patrol. I really enjoyed it. Keep this in mind, as I am not the only one who did Chaos Space Marines. Next up, we have Scott. So Scott, this is a combined. This is mine and Scott's before photo. Scott decided to add on to Grey Knights. So here is the Combat Patrol as we first got it. And here they are now. So this is the Grey Knights Combat Patrol. We've got the Dread Knights, Marines, the character up front, ready to roll. Really cool to see getting back to the Grey Knights, working off all those colors. I love the red that he uses along with all this very crisp silver with all the armor. They look great. And I know that he is continuing to add on to this army, so a good excuse to add on to things that we've already got. This combat patrol is 12 models with the Dread Knight. So with our 12 models from Scott, we are up to 152. But awesome job, Scott. They look great. Alright, next up, Arctic Turtle. So Arctic Turtle in the Discord, this is the Black Templar combat patrol. And we're at the kind of pre-shading stage here. Everyone gathered up, ready to go. I like the bonus salamander here in the back. But all ready to roll. And those became this. So we've got our Black Templars ready to roll out onto the field. I love the basing too. I like the additions with the crystals. Those look really cool with the color scheme. But some really lovely work here for Black Templars. I love all the highlighting looks great. Very sharp, very clean with that, the black and the white, getting that just real crisp and clean. We got the muzzle weathering here on the Infernus. So awesome job, Arctic Turtle. This force looks great. And getting to work on a big model for a challenge like this. Not all of the boxes have a larger model like that, so very cool to see that as well. But awesome job. Arctic Turtle's project was 17 models, which brings us to 169 completed so far. It's pretty nuts. Awesome job, Arctic Turtle. Alright, sticking with Marines, next up, we have Avian Thulium trying to score some extra points with the judges, I think. bringing the YouTube background here as a background to the Dark Angel Combat Patrol. So this is the Dark Angels. They do get the Dreadnought along with that. So this was the all built, ready to roll. And here they are now. So Avian's got a really cool color scheme for the Dark Angels. It's kind of the black with the hint of green. So kind of, it feels kind of between Heresy and 40k, which is really cool. It looks really, really good on them. Bringing on some of the Dark Angels here onto the Dreadnought. Love that. This Chaplain is still so cool. What a neat sculpt. And then, yeah, just all the different Dark Angel. We got the shoulders here. They look great, Avian. I really like the color scheme in it. It works really, really well on these. So awesome job getting these together to add to the Dark Angels. Avian's project is 10 models, bringing us to 179. Awesome job, Avian. Thanks so much for joining in for the challenge. Alright, next up, this is Ravenlord. So Ravenlord decided to hop in with Votan. Unfortunately, because it's in August and the weather, did not get as much as they were hoping to get done. But I wanted to include them because they were working on this throughout the month. So this was the initial plan, and I know Ravenlord's talked about working through these as he goes. But here's what we got. Ravenlord was also trying to finalize a color scheme, so I want to make sure we brought them in so you can see the scheme that the rest of them will be. But decided on orange and blue, which I think works super, super well on the Votan. So bring in the blue as the accent on the armor and on the lenses. all weathered up. I think it works so well for them. I really like it, Ravenlord. So of our before, we have 2 votan to add to our total. So here is our first, and here is our second. Bringing in the green too, which is always fun against the orange. So more votan to come, but those were completed during the challenge, so I wanted to throw them in. So with Ravenlords 2, we're up to 181. Excited to see more Ravenlord. Alright, next up we've got Glorious Badger. Badger went... This is the one with the most models. So this is the Tyranid half of Leviathan, which is their new combat patrol. It has the new Neuro Tyrant, has the new the Barb Gaunts. Yeah, all the new buggies are here. New little swarm. So here is the before, all lined up and ready to go. And here is the after. Look at all these minis! I love the color scheme. I love that you're able to rock the magenta. I know you love your magenta. So bringing them in looks really, really cool. I think I brought up... Yeah, I brought one in a little closer so we can look at the color scheme. But there is that magenta with the darker carapace. So cool. Love the little brain bugs here for the Neuro Tyrant. But this Badger takes honor of most models in a project. With all of these bugs, this is 34 miniatures completed. Between the Barb Gaunts, the new Termagants, the Leapers, Neuro Tyrant Alpha, and the little Ripper Swarms. So awesome job, Badger. They look great. I'm excited to see if you pick up more buggies. I'm sure you probably need a break from them for a bit, but if you pick up new buggies, I'm excited to see them in this scheme. With Badger's 34, that brings us to 215 miniatures completed. Very cool. Next, we stick with bugs. Next is Numerian, and this is I feel like this is a before photo that every Nid player has. Just a pile of bugs. This is the new Gaunts all built, awaiting the challenge. So here is our before, and then the actual literal glow up. Numerian going with a very bright scheme. I love it though. I love the blue, the green, bringing in this pinky color, kind of like Badger, bringing in the pinks, the magentas for the Nids. Swapping out the Neuro Tyrant for the Psychophage, which is a really cool new miniature as well. But yeah, these fluorescent Nids are just so much fun. Really, really love that you went with the bright bugs. I can only imagine a full table of these. So for Numerian's bundle, we've got 30 miniatures, bringing our total up to 245. So really awesome work, Numerian. Awesome job with these. I love that you brought the little crystals and stuff on too. Really cool to... Especially when you have so many Gaunts and things on the tables, just to add a little extra, some of the bases help them stand out. So they look great. Awesome job knocking out all these bugs. Alright, next up is Noob Painter. Noob Painter actually had just completed this combat patrol before we decided to do the challenge, and it felt really silly to just leave him. So this was just before the challenge, but I think absolutely counts. So Noob decided to go with Deathwatch. Wanted a force to work up and try this style out on, which is really cool. I love the shine on all the armor. The highlighting here is really cool. Bringing the weathering onto the feet looks great. But yeah, a really cool style, and I think it works really, really well with this color scheme. But a Deathwatch force ready to roll. So awesome job, Noob. I'm sorry we were late. We decided to join you with the challenge. But glad we got to see your combat patrol. So with Noobs, that is 15 more miniatures, bringing our total up to 260. So many minis, and more to come. Awesome job, Noob. They look great. Alright, next, we hop over to some Age of Sigmar. So we decided that with the starter box challenge, obviously we don't want just 40k. JPIC decided to go Age of Sigmar with some Stormcast. So this is the Thunderstrike Spearhead. For the challenge, decided to leave out the dragons to have kind of a similar model count here. looking at the number here, I think he added some instead of the dragons. So we'll take a look at that. My number may be a little bit off, but that's okay. But here is the start, and here is the after. So JPEG went all out on this photo, which I'll be honest, made it a little difficult to count. But we have a whole bunch of stormcast here with some of the new terrain. So JPEG went very creative with our final photo here, and it looks awesome. They look so good all together. So we've got all of our stormcast here. I think I pulled out a photo so we can see the color scheme a little closer. So there is also, we have the really nice basing. So in addition to kind of the background scenery, this custom basing with the sorry, not flowers, but the leaves, the really cool kind of ruins tiles here that they're standing on. So a really cool addition to the models as well. But there is that really pretty teal scheme that the JPEG has on the stormcast. So if I counted correctly with the bases, I actually counted 32. So I don't know exactly what was swapped out with the dragons, but that's what I have for my count. It might be a little bit off. If that is correct, we are up to 292 with JPEG's project. Awesome job, JPEG. I love the scheme. I love the photography with the terrain and everything. They look so good all together. Awesome job knocking it out. Alright, next up we have Irabri, and we're going back to 40k. So we have a a very bright flash on our Astra Militarum Combat Patrol. So this will be 28 miniatures. We'll steal it from the box there. But here is the start, and here is the after. Look at these. They look so good. I love the weapons platforms back here. Are really cool. We've got the walker back here. All those guardsmen. That's always the tough part of these projects, is getting that batch painting all done, but they look great. I love the work on the banner. Looks awesome, Irabri. But we've got the guardsmen ready to roll out. They look fantastic. Like the basing too. It's a nice nice way for the models to kind of stand out. They look great all together. But yeah, really cool force from Irabri. Really lovely work on all the details. That banner again. So awesome job, Irabri. So we said that was 28 miniatures, which brings our total to 320, which is insane. Awesome job, Irabri. I love this force. So cool. I love the walker. Such a cool sculpt. I'm glad that the guard got their updated box. Next up, we've got Reprint with Mechanicus. So again, not the actual Combat Patrol box itself, but putting the models together to have one. So here are all of our sprues getting collected. Good starting image there. And here they are now. So I really like this color scheme for them, especially we've got the glowing red from all the lenses and details like that. So really cool color scheme here, getting them based. I know in the Discord Reapers said that a lot more that they want to do to these, but ready for the challenge and ready for a game, which is the most important part. But yeah, a really cool color scheme. If you do decide to come back and keep working on them, Reaper, it'd be really cool to see the progress in them all where you'd like them to be. I think a lot of us learned with the challenge that if you want it done to be able to play, sometimes it's worth coming back. You get what you need to get ready for that tournament, for that event, and then come back if you want to. I think they look great already. I really like the color scheme. But yeah, awesome job, Reaper. Thanks for joining us for the challenge. Reaper's project is 18 models, bringing us up to 338. So 338 here before we've got one more project. What do you think we'll top out at here? What do you think? Our last project is MH40K in the Discord. Did the same box I did. So we have Chaos Space Marine Combat Patrol. And here is our before. So getting all of the legionaries onto basing, getting ready for priming. Starting image here for at least the infantry. And then here they are all together. So here is the legionaries that we saw on the before photo. We've also got our havocs. We got this really cool hellbrute. I love this hellbrute. And then our characters up here in front. So a really cool color scheme. I did pull up the hellbrute to share so you can see more of that. So really cool color scheme. I love the work on the skin, on all of the armor. Awesome work there for all of that detail work. But yeah, a really cool scheme, and glad for more chaos. I'll go back here to do our little wrap up. MH40Ks was 19 miniatures, which brings our total to 357 completed, which is amazing. So in the month of August, our community, at least for this challenge, obviously more than that, but painted 357 miniatures. Awesome work, everyone. Yeah, I don't think I realized it would be that many when we started. But I think the what I took away from the challenge, working through mine, is it's really nice to know that if there is a tournament coming up, like, you can absolutely knock it out. I think some of us, it was a little bit more time than some of us kind of had in our mind initially. Also summer with weather, and then the fun part is we were all doing it on hard mode because Baldur's Gate 3 also came out, so I know that kind of took some of the wind out of our sails. But the fact that we could get a box together, both for tackling backlog or if you want an event, I think it's good to know that you can do that. The batch painting is rough. I think that's always kind of the tough part of getting a full force together, but look what we did. So cool. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to join us. Again, if you're watching here on YouTube, if you'd like to join us for more challenges, I think we're kind of trying to decide what we want to do as a community. If we want to, like, add on, so maybe doing like a vehicle or a character, something like that to add on to some of these forces. So if you'd like to come join us, we're over on Twitch. Again, that link is in the description. And that's our showcase. Thank you, everyone who participated. I hope you guys had fun working through your boxes and getting to paint all together. My plan is probably to take mine to Adepticon, so if you guys want to throw down with combat patrols, if we can get a table, I think that would be a lot of fun, or checking it out at local games store. They're all painted and ready to roll. So that's all I've got for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to check it out, and I'll see you over on Twitch. Bye.